Alright guys, Beal, I'm here back with more Horizon. Again, I'm gonna listen to the podcast, so whatever.
Much.
We're just doing side
Probably
content
more so over here in
for a
the
bit.
States. But over there, I don't necessarily know if it's as volatile a market.
Alright, so we're doing
and it also kind of just
Knights
depends on
of
like
Light.
what kind of content
Let's
creator
see how
you
that
are.
goes.
Like if you're a prankster content creator, then going on Big Brother Canada and being the villain is probably better for your brand than going on there and trying to be Captain Canada. Screw that. That's boring. That's cool. So yeah, I
get the Grim Kiefer, Amon.
Well, I mean, I think Moose definitely was playing it up a little bit for the camera, so that suggests to me that he kind of is aware of how all of this will work, and like he's leaning into certain bits of his personality. But I do think that he probably still has a bit of a mind for the game, so I'm excited. He was like on my lower end of top picks, because he does excite me. He doesn't have that same sort of like. Whereas I feel like last year when we were doing the drafts, there are like some similarities between the way that he was presenting himself and the way that Rohan was presenting himself. Both of them were like, I'm going to be like the one behind the scenes. I'm going to be doing this, that, and the third. Whereas with Rohan, it felt more like, yeah, and I'm going to be devious and get them all out. Where with Moose, it feels a bit more fresh, a bit more fun, a bit more carefree, a bit more like I'm in on the joke, guys. Like I'm here to have fun. So it makes me feel like like he'll find his niche, he'll find his group. They'll all be like, oh, Moose, as opposed to ew, Moose, and he'll probably take it pretty deep. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Moose.
Okay. Look, I'm here to make bold picks. Yeah, I do. It's grenade proof. Cannot be grenaded. Yes. All right.
Is this easy?
The fourth pick falls to me, correct? And then Amon for 2. Okay. I'm thinking I don't get this person at 6 if I don't go with them here. I'm gonna guess they don't get past Amon.
Okay.
And that is why I'm gonna go here with
Tanisha.
Very high on my board. Give me Jessica.
Oh.
Okay.
Jessica is a big fan. Seems very fun. Ready to go into the house and watch the seasons multiple times. That Big Brother Canada, more so than Big Brother US, can give us sort of. They love sort of like quirky characters. I could see her doing very well. That I think that maybe she could have some, or they could have some Sarah Hanlon to them.
I think I'm gonna switch it back now that I know what kind of bow this actually is.
Knows the show inside and out, and I think that doesn't necessarily give off that vibe, and could be somebody that people are sleeping on, and I think somebody that is able to get under the radar to a degree, keep it fun, good vibes in the house.
There.
Yeah,
guaranteed good vibes.
Jessica did mention that they wanted to play like Sarah Hanlon in the video of theirs. I like Jessica a lot. They are somebody that knows the show really well. They are somebody that has consumed our content, and their partner is I think in the chat right now. And I think that's all good, especially because I don't know that you would immediately assume that of them, unlike maybe some of the other people on the cast, one of them in particular. I think that's a good thing. I think that they will be able to bond with people over the fact that they're a big fan of the show. They probably will know who Kyle Moore is, and they can probably bond with him over that. And I think that. I'm definitely. I'm curious to see how they, sort of navigate the house. I think that there's a lot of potential here. Would it have been my first pick? Maybe not. But I do like Jessica, and I'm hopeful that they do well.
Yeah. So you're probably right, Rob. I don't know if she would have made it past me.
You have 2 picks now.
Yeah. But the one thing that kept ringing in my head was Taryn's voice, but I kept thinking about Jessica is she can't win comps. She said she's not good at winning comps. And so I'm like, I don't know about that last stretch, man. We know that they have switch things around a little bit to try to make things a little bit more equitable in terms of like, you know, mental versus physical versus puzzle, all that stuff. But like, if you cannot win comps to save your life, like if people are able to sniff her out and they're like,
Wait, did we not
I mean,
know that
you
already?
know, I don't know if I agree, Rob. I don't know if she's going to be able to be under the radar that much. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of physical hallmarks that compare her to Sarah Hamlin, and if there are other
Okay.
big fans in that house, they're going to be like, ooh, she's kind of under the radar. Ooh, she's kind of, you know, she might be.
Wait,
She
why
might, you
wouldn't
know,
I
be
just
studying the
try?
day. She's got a
Oh,
calendar.
fuck, it's 6
You know,
digits?
she's got the
Okay.
Fruit Loops. So like, I'm like, are they going to take her
Mine.
out? And if she can't win that veto, then. So I mean, definitely in the beginning, I don't think you'll have to worry about her. But the end game is where I'm like, can she do it? And so I probably still would have picked her though. So I still think it's a good pick, but it did give me pause.
Yeah, this is a little cliche, but I do think the fact that they wear glasses, at least in the picture, like, not gonna help. Because I think it's gonna make them feel like the perception is that, you know, they're smart.
Right.
You know, that's what happens in the house all the time. Also, just if people have not listened to the First Impressions podcast, Jessica goes by either they, them, or she, her. So either one works. I believe that her partner said in the chat that they prefer they, them, but either one is fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like Jessica. I think Jessica was not wearing glasses in one of the videos, if I'm remembering correctly. So I wonder if maybe they're not intending to wear glasses the whole time, and maybe it was just like a casting thing. I don't know. But I did like how they said that they were going to be flexible with the strategy, and how, like, you know, it's not necessarily like what people want to hear, but it's best to go in maybe without a strategy and kind of just adapt as you go. And I feel like a few years ago I would have been like, ugh, that's a no answer. That's not even an answer. That gives us nothing. But I think they're right. Like, at this point, it does kind of seem like the strategy can change up just depending on who's in the house, who's on the cast. And so I feel like that's actually like a smart strategy going in. I also feel like on a normal Big Brother US season, I'd probably be like, well, can they fit in with the cast? You know, you never know if they'll be able to, you know, they're quirky. Will they be able to fit in? It's Big Brother Canada. The whole cast basically is like a bunch of quirky people. So I feel like that really shouldn't be a problem this season. I mean, we'll hope. But yeah, I feel like it's not as like, it's not as out there as Big Brother US where they're like, we're going to have one quirky person and that's it. So, yeah, I feel like it's a good pick. They seem to know the show a lot, and yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they...
Like, good age, too. Not going to be seen as, like, one of I keep forgetting what Evie called the old,
Later days.
Later days.
Yeah.
Not part of later days. Not like
much older.
Later days. Yeah. 35, but not coming in and not going to be seen as like the mom of the house. So,
A youthful 35.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of life experience. So I feel good about Jessica going.
Oh my god, I am so sick of Big Brother warping our sense of age. Like, it is really high time. Like, people in their 30s, in their 40s, they are not old. We need to get over this. It is so toxic. I'm so over it.
Like, we talk about this a lot in the preseason, and every time, like, people are like, that's not old, but we are. I would hope that people understand that when we talk about it, like, we don't mean that they're old.
And I know that
Right.
I know that we don't, but of course you would feel that way when they continuously getting older people out, even when they're not old. Like, even in the, I would like even in the sense of the game, if there was like some massive paradigm shift where people were like, you know what, why are we going at, it was like Hamza in season 6, where he's like, why are we going after Rosina? Why? Just because she's old? That's so stupid. Like, I'm so over it. I really am. What else is older? The later days. Even later days.
They're literally just like in the scope of Big Brother, because Big Brother casting likes to cast an average age of like mid-20s. Everybody in their 30s plus is basically older than the average. But they're not old. Not old.
Yes.
I mean, like, we're sitting here on Thursday on the first impression, like, yeah, it's an older cast, you know, we got like a median age of 28, like, this is simply what they've gotten us used to, so I definitely echo Amon's feelings of it is frustrating that we're out here, being in a position where we have to refer to the 35-year-old as the older house guest. This is where we're at. To bring it back to Jessica, I'm very excited to see her play. They are one of the few people in here, obviously, that I know have consumed different content from our Twitch streams and I'm sure podcasts, and I've watched the whole show. If there's anyone that's going to know the Kyle Moore lore right out the gate, I think it's them. And I think that they would definitely try and use that to their advantage. I do love when a player is self-aware, and Jessica saying that their biggest challenge is going to be deciphering between intuition and their paranoia. I feel that. That is definitely, I think, something important for you to keep your mind on for when you're playing this game, navigating these kind of games. I love that. And then there was one other thing I wanted to bring up, and if I remember it real quick, I will say it, and I think I've reached the end of the sentence where I could have said it, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay. All right. Amon has 2 picks.
I won't budge from this side.
In a row.
Yes. All right. Well, let me just come right out of the gate and say I'm gonna go ahead.
I won't budge from this side.
Baby. She's giving me sleeper hit.
Sleeper hit.
That's what she's giving me. I think, she's coming in with the narrative that I would like to show out for all the single moms out there, parents out there. But, and that's all fine and lovely, but I don't even think that's the most interesting thing about her. I think the fact that she would like to come into this game, like, playing, like, the ditzy person is, like, sort of interesting to me.
How am I supposed to do this? I'm so confused.
She doesn't give that kind of energy at all. So I'm like, what are you really gonna do? Was that a casting answer that you gave? Because if it was, I don't think that you're gonna be able to fall with that. I think that you're gonna have to come in and just be who you are, because who you are is so much more interesting than that facade that you're trying to allegedly come into this house with. Look, single mom, 32 years old, has got like a good solid head on her shoulders. She looks fit, in shape. I think that she's going to have the mental fortitude.
Oh, I didn't see that. There's a hole there.
The physical fortitude. I'm excited to see her play. She seems warm, caring. I love the fact that her father is very much involved with helping her raise her daughter. Seems very tight-knit, close-knit. Like, her daughter's only 7 years old. That's a very big motivating factor when it comes to games.
They watch the show together.
They watch the show together. It feels right to me. It feels like she's coming into this with a purpose, with some guns, and I'm really excited to watch her play. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Nisha Baby.
Yeah, I like her a lot. She's near the top of my list for sure. I was actually shocked to hear that she was only 32 because I first heard that she was a single mom and all that, and I was like, oh, okay, so she's like the mom that the cast got it. She's older. And then I saw she was my age, and I was like, oh my god, that is shocking to me. So I couldn't believe it. I wonder if, and I feel like she will be able to fit in with the quote unquote young cast members fairly well, because like from her intro video, she didn't seem to give off like old lady energy or anything like that. She really just seemed young and fun and everything like that. So I do appreciate that. But I do think you're right. Like, I do not get ditzy from her at all. So I don't know how she's gonna pull that off, or if it's just kind of like something that she's saying she's gonna do, and it's not really like ditzy per se. It's just like, oh, I'm not gonna show how intelligent I am, maybe. But yeah, I really liked her a lot. Everything about her seemed good. She seemed easy to get along with, but she also seemed really intelligent and strategic. So yeah, I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, it's always something that I try to look at is, how many common interests do people have? What can they bond over? Being a parent on a cast where there's basically only one other parent could be detrimental, but we've seen countless examples of people who were parents that had no problem. Derek, Tiffany, even Kiefer last season, talking about
Tara.
Tara did exactly.
She had a bumpy road, yeah. And she definitely was evicted.
Tara's an example of, I think, what I'm talking about, where she did have trouble fitting in. She identified a lot as a mother, And that wasn't something that was represented in the house very well. And so because of that, she had a little bit of trouble. So that could be an issue, but given that Tanisha's very much like, hey, I'm also like hot and I get out. I think she'll probably be fine. Other people in the game like Tiffany or even Derek, they both kind of bonded over other things outside of their children with the other house guests. I feel like Tanisha will have those things to bond with people about. So I'm not too concerned about that overall. Yeah. I do think that she also seems, physically capable enough. And again, if these competitions are going to be moving in a slightly more equitable range, then I think she is especially going to be capable in the competition. So I like Tanisha as a pick.
Yeah, she just seemed very personable, and I like the fact that she said that she's not really into the drama. She's not trying to be a part of that, and while that might not be great feeds, that does make me think, okay, she's someone that thinks before she speaks. She's not about to just, go around and, be petty like some of these other people. And just, she's gonna, I feel like she's gonna be the voice of reason in whatever alliance she finds herself in. And be like, okay, guys, well, let's think about this. Do we want to get rid of this person or we want to get rid of this person? I think it might be better to do this. I feel like, I think she's going to help steer this game in the way that she would like it to go. I hope that, and I'm hoping that my intuition is correct in that that she's not going to be too laid back and that she's got the right balance right down the middle where it's not like I'm going to be so low key that I'm like Tina and eventually give up and get thrown out, or I'm going to be more like, some of the other more active players that actually
let's see if I actually remember it.
Get what they want done. So that's my hope for Tanisha.
Yeah, I really do like her. She was in the top half of my draft board. I do think that
what's the combination?
Ultimately, maybe why she wasn't top of my board is simply because I didn't get enough information here to really solidify my thoughts on her navigation of the game. But I think as far as personability goes, as far as social goes, I think she's got both of those locked up. If I'm going to equate or compare her to a former Big Brother Canada player who also was a mother, I would go back to BB Can 2 and look at Mumsy, Sarah from that season. I liken her to Sarah more than maybe some other people that we might compare here. I think she's got a lot of potential. And while it might be a little dull, maybe, I still think she's going to surprise us. So I'm liking this pick. It's a good pick, I'm on.
Yeah, and this is probably a good time to sort of put it out there if you weren't keeping track of the information that's out on the cast. There's not a lot of it. We are. This draft is based on the sort of 1 to 2 minute intro videos, a bio, and then maybe a 1 to 2 minute ET interview, plus these little videos who they want to play as. Normally, we would have more information, but there's very little information. In fact, to prepare for this draft, 10 minutes before it started, I was listening to myself and Kuya talk about our first impressions at Double CD. Because I was like, I don't remember, and there's been no pictures. So I had
self-referential self-study.
So definitely check that out. If you want some info before the premiere, we got you.
I mean, that had most of it covered, so you can check that out.
Okay. Aman, you have another pick now.
I legitimately just don't remember.
Tanisha.
Oh my god, this one is hard because I know there's a pick that I should probably steer away from. I don't think that this person will win, but I think that this person stands a good chance of making it far, and it's just my hope that maybe they'll align with the other people that I have already.
Okay.
Which could maybe he could be a shield, but I don't know. Or do I just go for another low-key that's sort of like Tanisha? Damn it. Okay. Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
Okay.
Go with your gut.
You got this.
Summer?
Okay. I feel like I do this every damn draft. There's always one pick where I'm over here dancing for 10 minutes before making a decision. Okay. I am going to go...
Todd Bridges. It's Todd Bridges. There we go.
I know, it's Todd Bridges all over again, but he made it so hard. He did. I know, doggy, I know.
They're go, pick.
Past a point of no return. You can and you will, Aman.
Okay?
Yeah, you can and you will.
I just feel like if I take this, then I'm leaving some valuable stuff
Oh,
for you
there
guys
it
to
is.
pick up afterwards, and that pisses
So
me
it's under
Good.
side quest, so it wasn't under side quest.
Okay.
739.
See it in your mind. Who do you think is actually going to make it to the end? Who can you actually see there? Who? Okay, I am going to take.
135. I was one number off.
I'm going to take Gino.
Wow.
I thought that's where this was
Yeah,
headed.
that's good. That's not a bad pick.
He can go one of two ways. We know the story of the big guys. We know the story. They either are targeted first, because they're
I'm
big,
very
they're
low
out,
on Gino.
that's just it, because no one, especially in a season that's coming off of BB Can
Terms of
9,
winning.
where Jed and Ty were sort of like the big guns of that season, and they both made it deep by staying loyal to one another. I fear that he will be that easy target. He'll be like, all right, let's get him out. But then again, when it comes to Big Brother Canada, winning the comps, like if you can't, if you can't get him out because he keeps winning, then that's really good. As well as the fact that they might just be like, there are other like more low-key players out there that might be more willing to keep him around, because once he's gone, who do you look at next? Because he's really one of two. I mean, I guess
I should
one
probably
of three.
bring up the
I would say like
timer.
big guys.
Make sure I didn't go too
I
far
don't really
over.
consider Kyle more that type of archetype. He seems a little bit more of like his own sort of
Yeah.
lane. I would say it's him, it's Herman, and then it's Josh. Those are like the three like big guns that I can see sort of like being those easy, oh my god, let's throw up these physical guys. And I think that Gino is probably the most stereotypical big gun guy that's on the cast. So he's going to be in the crosshairs of at least three people coming into the game. Now, that being said, there are two women, maybe three, if I'm remembering correctly, that are in heat, okay? That are like, I am ready to come on this show and just find a husband, okay? So, that could help him, okay? That could help him. I am relying solely on...
Showmances are big on Big Brother Canada.
Exactly. I am relying on the thirst. Okay? I am relying on somebody to be thirsty to keep him around, and maybe he becomes an Adam Pike, where he doesn't win, but he makes it far, and hopefully it helps other people that are on my draft also make it far.
So are we?
That's what I'm going with. I think, and I think that he is, I think a lot of the bigger guys on Big Brother Canada are usually not like the stereotypical meatheads who are like, yeah, bro, let's go. Like, a lot of them are actually, they have hearts, they're great, they got a good head on the shoulders, he's a family guy, he's a firefighter, so, maybe there's like a little bit of Jeremy Collins upside to him. I know it's a different game, but you know what I mean. So, I can see him dashing into the fire to save his alliance. I can see it. I just hope that his alliance is my alliance. So, I'm going with it. I'm doing Gino, and it is what it is. And he's catching quite a lot of attention from people that are like, I think Cornbread on this season of Drag Race is also like super into him. So he's catching on.
I think Cornbread from BBOT.
I'm glad you specified. Yeah.
That would be a strange turn of events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be mad at this pick when Jackson, Cody, Xavier, Dane, Ty.
Yeah.
You could even say Sheldon was doing real good in Bibican 8.
Oh.
That's the last 6, potential winners at the very least. Then you throw in Casey even as kind of almost in that archetype, and it starts to look a little samey in recent years. So it's I don't hate the pick at all. And if anything, Amon, I'm glad that you prevented my draft team from becoming too much of a bromance.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. I like him a lot. I think that I liked in his interview when he basically
Can I
said
just
that
fast
he
forward? I
does
just wanna
not
get the
come
fuck outta
in
here.
so aggressive and kind of try to play down
Really?
his strength and all that. I guess I am concerned, like we all are, about like just the fact that he's a big, strong guy, and people might be intimidated by that. But with BB Can, it's not really a no-go if they're a big, muscular guy coming into the show at this point. And also the fact that he is open to showmances, I feel like that's really good for him, honestly, because that could kind of solidify him in an alliance pretty early. So yeah, I feel like it's a good pick. It's just so hard to say, you know, at this point, like whether or not it's gonna go the way of, you know,
Excuse me?
the bros all aligning and, you know, they have their side showmances, or if it's just gonna be like, we gotta get rid of the bros right away. So I don't really know, but I do think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I feel like for me,
Okay.
I really thought that Gino was someone that was going to fall a lot lower and could be like a steal in a later second, early third situation. So I'm not mad at this pick. I mean, everyone's highlighted all the reasons why. His archetype typically has a high variance of either you're in the end game picture or you're like that one in the archetype that gets taken out early.
Spark in his eye and gratitude in his heart held aloft the gizmo that had eluded him.
It's called an ornament, actually. Part of a set. I think there are more scattered in ruins beyond the desert. I might be able to track them down.
And so the mystery of the ornament deepened. For what purpose were these trinkets designed?
Something called the Knights of Lights holiday promotion. It's a way the old ones celebrated special occasions, I think.
Like feasts?
Kind of. I think a holiday marked a seasonal event?
And so does every feast in the claim. There's the Feast of the First Keg, the Feast of Fermentation, the All Hops Feast.
All about ale, huh? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Anyway, these ornaments could supposedly change the lights above ground, but I'm not sure how.
I recognize this marking. Saw the same on a little device we unearthed. Here.
It might be able to turn on the lights.
Time to find out. Which one should I try first?
Let's go with this one.
I'll get right to it. Sure as sparks kindle flame. This must have been some kind of winter festival. But what kind of beast is that? Almost looks like a fang horn. Let me know.
Alright, so that's that, right? So, like, that's that ornament. So really, this is the
Don't
last
find
one,
any
right?
more of those ornaments. Wonder what other holidays the old ones celebrated.
Oh, is that what all the ornaments are for? It's just for this?
From Journeys Unknown, the Nora returned to the teller of tales and keeper of ornaments. So, are you feeling festive? Take your pick.
And that's kind of, like, it's kind of underwhelming. I thought it would lead to, like, some sort of big armor or something.
This one seems good.
I should have done Chinese New Year.
I hope Abaddon is ready for this.
It's Easter.
Now, what do rabbits, eggs, and flowers have to do with each other? Signs of spring, maybe. Aloy, this old wordsmith is always happy to see you. So, what will it be?
I want to see this one.
And so the wordsmith set out to bring new light to the ruins above. Showers of sparks and serpents. Whatever they were celebrating, it must have been quite a festival.
That's cool. Anyway, let's go back down. Where are we at time-wise? We should be almost at 30, yeah. We'll probably end. We'll obviously do more. I did see that Lasers just finished Horizon, which is obviously interesting. I would love to finish Horizon. I wish I had more time, but still. Yeah, we will end there. Next episode, continue on for now. Thanks for watching.